For today's Cyber CEO episode,
she's really universal and she's really naturally creative. So we've kind of given her free reins and let her shine in kind of what she really likes to do. She actually designed our logo. She's part of the family, I feel. I mean, I'll never forget when we just got married in October, and I woke up that morning and we were getting ready to go to our wedding, and she made like this movie poster, a social media post of our wedding. I was like, oh my gosh, is that us? So she's part of the family. I mean, she truly is. And I would just say that we're grateful for her commitment to our business because, you know, as we grow, she grows. And so we're committed to her just as much as she's committed to us.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have very special guests on the show. Tim, Steven, how are you guys doing today?
Wonderful. Thanks.
You. All right. Now, I know you guys are very busy. Thank you very much for coming back for another round here in our podcast. Now, what we wanted to do was just to talk more, of course, about your experience with Cyberbacker. Now, how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker again?
14 months?
It was over a year. So February, I believe. So yeah, I think it's 14 months. It goes by really fast.
really, really fast, right? Especially when everything's going great, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Perfect. Good to know that everything's going wonderful with you and your Cyberbacker. Now, was this your first time to work with someone virtual, by the way?
Yes.
First go. Now, being it's your first time working with someone virtual, what does it mean to you now? When we say virtual leverage, what does it mean to you and your business now?
So I think that I know that I struggled and was hesitant to have a virtual assistant because I was concerned that there would be, I was concerned with accountability and projects and timelines. And so we have had in-person assistants in the last year and a half, 2 years prior to our virtual assistant. And it seemed like there was no accountability and project management. So I feel like we got to the point where, you know, let's give it a shot. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we were not having luck with the timelines and deadlines created, and we had buy-in, or so we thought. And then there was always the projects weren't being done to completion and or on time. And so from our end, it was frustrating. And so we had heard great things about Cyberbacker, and so we were open-minded. I feel that the interview process for selecting your Cyberbacker is very well executed and implemented. I mean, I was very nervous to pick your assistant for your business. I mean, your business is your lifeline. And so your interview process is very well scaled. And now that we have our Cyberbacker, I'll just say Jules, I can't imagine having anyone else but Jules be part of our business. And so it's funny how that works.
There we go. Now, talk to me more about Jules, though, and that hiring process. Going through that, were you looking for a specific set of skills or a specific type of personality going through that now you got partnered with Jules?
The truth is we didn't know what we were looking for. We didn't really know, or when we started this venture with Cyberbacker, we didn't know what could be done. We had no experience in the virtual realm at all, so we didn't know what a Cyberbacker would be capable of. So the sales team, I don't know if that's what you call them. Do you call them the sales team or the recruiting team?
Yeah.
Whomever helped walk us through the process, helped us create that job description, helped us create, a needs list, if you will. There were things that quite frankly, we didn't realize that our Cyberbacker could do, that we were paying other people here in the States to do. And just by eliminating that cost, it's almost paying for our Cyberbacker's expenses every month because we didn't know that the Cyberbacker could include these items in their tasks. So they really helped us create that. And then we were able to use that job description to go out and find the personality. At the end of the day, every time that Stephen and I have hired somebody, whether virtually or in person, it's always been about the personality. I feel like for the right person, for the right candidate, we can train the skills.
True.
But you can't train a personality.
Yes, because that's already who you are ever since you were born. That's already how you do things, how you talk to people. That's something that you can't change. But especially skills, that's something that you can train a person on, right?
Yes.
Now, talk to me more about the partnership, though, that you have with Jules, your cyberbacker. Now, I know this is your first time, and of course, it doesn't always start like a snap like a snap of a finger. A perfect partnership. How did you guys work on? How did you create a successful partnership with someone who's virtual?
It's scary taking, I remember taking on plenty of new jobs, and it's scary in the unknown, if you will. There's that unknown portion where you don't know what you're doing and you're being trained. And so we try to always instill confidence in Jules from the very beginning that there's nothing she can do that we can't fix. And so we empowered her rather than, instill fear. And so whatever, if she was, if she didn't know how to do something, or perhaps she, did something wrong, perhaps, we always told her from the get-go, we could fix it. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. And so this is a learning process, and we want you to learn, and we want you to ask questions. And so we've always kind of, I feel, empowered her to ask questions and empowered her to learn more and grow more and do more. And she's kind of really taken the reins and expanded her skill set in her own horizon. When we started out and we had this job description of what she's going to be doing, as kind of a loose framework, if you will, like Tim said already, she's actually been able to do more than that job description. And so, and since hiring her, we've now have 2 more businesses. And so we're not just realtors. We are sales realtors in the States. We also have a design interior exterior company, and we also have a short-term rental Airbnb management company. And so we've capitalized on her skill set, because a lot of the things she does for real estate, she's been able to duplicate in the design world and in the short-term rental Airbnb management company. She actually designed our logo for our short-term management Airbnb company. So she's very universal, and she's very she's very naturally creative. So we've kind of given her free reins and let her shine in kind of what she really likes to do.
Right there, just being universal. So she's almost everywhere in all businesses then, almost.
She is. I mean, she's instrumental in all 3 of our businesses. And so we're getting organized, if you will, and getting these businesses up and running. But she's been very instrumental in making sure they're cohesive and they're the same kind of professionalism that we have already from real estate, making sure it's overflowing in the other companies as well.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you empowered your cyberback. You empowered Jules to make her feel that she can make mistakes. There's nothing that you guys can fix together, of course, as a team. Now, talk to me about that type of communication. How important is communication in a virtual partnership, just like this one, or just in a virtual or in a partnership per se?
The communication is key. Obviously, we're not on the phone all the time. Most of our communication happens through WhatsApp chats or emails. And so we do commit to, we Zoom with Jules twice a week, because whenever, I'm a student of communication. So I know that only 7% of communication are the words on the paper. 93% of communication is body language, tone, inflection. We lose all of that in chats and emails. And so, it's important to us, Jules is sensitive. And we want to make sure that she doesn't think that we're angry. And so when something does come up and there is a mistake or there is an error, it's important to point that out so that we all can learn from that and not repeat it. But at the same time, I don't want her to feel bad about it. I don't want her to apologize profusely. It's just the natural course of business. And I think that being able to have, to take the time to do those Zooms does allow us to regularly check in and just add that tone inflection, add that personal touch, and let her know how happy we are.
There we go. So really just communication is very, very. Yes, Steven, you were going to add
Yeah,
something?
and I want to highlight the word partnership because I think it's underplayed. And so we partner with Jules. Jules is not our assistant. We don't just send her a to-do list or she is truly a partner in our businesses. And there have been times where, and we've empowered her to do so. There have been times where I wake up and I have a to-do list from Jules.
Wow.
I have things that I need to do from Jules. And I appreciate that. And we've given her permission to do so because there's so much going on in our world that sometimes I can overlook certain details. And so I love it. I love waking up and having Jules say, hey, reminder, XYZ is due. I love a to-do list. And so it's really, truly a partnership.
There we go. Now, I love that, of course, that type of mentality, that partnership mentality, not just an employer-employee partnership. It's not that. It's a partnership it's a team, it's a family between your business and Jules, of course. Now, you mentioned about challenges earlier. Maybe if you don't mind me asking, was there any challenges that you've had, a very difficult challenge that you've had all throughout the course that you've been working with Cyberbacker?
Of course. One of the biggest challenges is we are busy. All right. We're in the field all the time. We pay rent on an office space and we are never using the office. We have computers there, but almost everything happens on our laptops, from our kitchen counter or in the car. And as such, we haven't really had time in the 14 months that we've been with Cyberbacker. We haven't had time to sit down and create an operations manual. It is on our long-term to-do list. It's something that needs to be done specifically for managing transactions, how contracts work, things like that. And so, contracts in California are complicated. It's not always easy to train somebody on all of the nuances. And so, there's things that come up with contracts. And if we had an operations manual in place, a checklist and a to-do list, and this is how this goes, it would probably run smoother. We haven't had the opportunity to do that. And so I feel like that's on us because we haven't given Jules the tools that she needs to do her job effectively. We're looking at some other options, which we're excited about as far as getting that into her hands, but we're exploring that.
Sorry, but it's still an opportunity for growth right there, and I think growth doesn't really stop in any kind of business, may it be real estate or not. Growth is a never-ending process, of course. Now, one of the things that we love talking about here on the podcast as well, of course, from our cyber CEOs, just like yourselves, are fantastic results. Of course, these results and these stories could really be educational for everyone who would want to partner with a cyberbacker. So, can you tell us about, let's say, one of your biggest wins ever since working with Jules, your cyberbacker? If you have any data or any metrics that you can share with us.
Data and metrics, no. A story, yes. So last week we closed on a house. And it was a friend was the seller and a friend was the buyer. And the buyer called us up and said, "Hey, I'd like to buy that house I saw in your Instagram story." That's great. Which one? Because we didn't know that we had a house posted on our Instagram. Jules had done that. She had posted that. Friend called, and we put the deal together, closed the house, and and so that was and it was friends on both sides. 40% of our business is repeat and friends and family. So it is good, but that's just that was directly a result of Jules and getting those friends and family into reminding them in our orbit and then actually executing a specific transaction. So
just being there, just getting the name out there, the name of the business out there, is just being done by Jules. Then that's been a huge impact to your business as of today, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, one last thing. We've been talking about Jules for a while now, and for sure, once we have this out, she's going to be listening and watching. So I was wondering, do you have any special messages or quick shout out you'd like to give out to your rock star cyberbacker, Jules?
I would say, Jules, that we are forever grateful for your commitment to our business and our lives. I mean, she she's part of the family, I feel. I mean, I'll never forget when we just got married in October, and I woke up that morning and we were getting ready to go to our wedding, and she made like this movie poster, a social media post of our wedding. I was like, oh my gosh, is that us? Like, and so she's really, she's part of the family. I mean, she truly is. And I would just say that we're grateful for her commitment to our business, because, you know, as we grow, she grows. And so we're committed to her just as much as she's committed to us.
There we go. We are very, very excited to see the continued success of this partnership all throughout the year. And again, Tim, Steven, thank you very much for coming back to the show. Always have fun having you guys on the show.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.